Hi, I'm Jaya,
And I'm Venk.
and this is the Reality Hate.
Episode 31. But unfortunately, we start off with some kind of sad news. Greg Leaks, Nene Leaks' husband, has passed away at age 66 from cancer. He was battling it for a few years. And yeah, so that's really kind of tragic news. And he's so young. He was
Yes.
so young. And we're going to miss his humor because he brought a lot of humor to the show. So now moving on, you love us, you like us, you live for us. So why don't you tap that subscribe button, smash the like button, I switched it up, but also ding the notification so you can be notified when a new episode arrives.
Yes, please.
You never know when it's gonna happen. We are at the end, the season finale of The Real Housewives of New York. Jaya, would you like to take it away?
I would. So we ended on a sweet note with The Real Housewives of New York. They got along the whole episode. They got along. I mean, it was nothing really happens. Nothing happens, right? I mean,
these were some beautiful breasts.
Beautiful. I mean, can you believe it? They all showed their breasts. I was like, what is happening? But they all got along, which was really pleasant. That's how they ended on a really happy note, which we're hearing isn't really how the season ended.
No. And this is what's funny. From what I understand, they haven't even taped the reunion. That's weird. They're taping at the end of September. Everybody's off doing their own thing. I think there might be some friction between Ramona and Ebony, sorry, my brain fart. Ramona and Ebony, so I don't know. We shall see.
Yeah, I mean, Luann's in Europe, living a best life. I mean, we don't know what's happening. I know next week they're showing a very special episode, I guess with unseen footage or something like that. But yeah, I mean, we're not getting a reunion right now. So I guess TBD.
I think it's gonna be, I think Andy Cohen's ready to scrap the entire cast.
It sounds like there's gonna be a big shakeup.
And
which I love Ebony. I don't want Ebony to go anywhere.
You sure? But I mean, this was her first season.
True.
I think we should give her an opportunity. I don't know. My question is, the executives, are they going to look at it like, I am just tired of anybody that was attached to it up until, the start of a new dawn? Like,
maybe. I mean, I think the one that has to go, I mean, if we're, come on, the one that has to go is Ramona. She's got to go. She's nothing but offensive. She is everything we don't want to see when we're watching television. We know that they exist. We know that that type of person is out there. I just don't need to see it. I don't want to.
I would love to keep Luann on. I do enjoy her growth.
Like, I love hate her, know, like,
but like, there are, I would be a little disappointed, but then I don't know, because what if a whole new cast brings a whole new, like, renewed, what is it? What was Ramona's brand?
True Renewal.
What if it's back of True Renewal?
Right. We never know.
Were there any highlights?
A new vaginal rejuvenation. So we open on the Galentine's party. They're all having fun. Harry Dubin calls. I loved the quick gossip between Leah and Ebony, which was basically, he probably has a tiny dick, but he's community dick for everyone. And he probably doesn't have as much money as they all think, which maybe not. And Luann feels like, Ramona says that, oh, they're just friends, but Luann feels like they're not just friends. Ramona just She doesn't have guy friends, and I agree.
She doesn't have friends. Ramona does not. She'll have some gay friends, you know.
She enjoys that Harry Dubin.
She
Oh, she likes that dupe.
I mean, he's a Dubin. Puff puff pass to the next one.
Think about who he was married to.
Wait, who was he married to?
He was married to Aviva Drescher.
Oh my God, he was. Wait a minute.
Leg lifter.
Yeah, but he was married to Aviva Drescher before she was on the show.
Before.
Because she was married to somebody new.
I think he was the tie to the show, right? He's kind of been on and off as a guest, and
he's been anchoring the women.
He brought on old Aviva Drescher on her leg.
She's a pirate.
Hey, we'll never forget her. She's iconic. So anywho, they get done, they sit down, they talk about their worst and best sexual experiences, but really only their worst. And most of them, even Ramona was really open about it. Like basically have all their worst experiences were with men with teeny tiny little peepees. Teeny tiny peepees.
Have you ever had an experience with a teeny tiny peepee?
No comment.
I have.
I have too.
Okay.
So, you know.
Do you want to hear the story?
Yeah, you tell your story.
Yeah. So I was in India filming this terrible film. And the grip, we were all out for like beers, and I was like 30. So it was like in the future, you know, obviously.
Yeah, I mean,
good catch.
It was a dream. It was a dream.
It was a dream. So we're sitting at the table. He, by the way, good looking guy, Indian, just like, you know, he's a grip. He's all muscly but like skinny muscly.
Right.
He's beautiful, just green eyes. And like, we're sitting at this table having drinks with like the crew and everything. And his hand like slips over my special area, you know? And I was like, okay, that's hello. So then I go outside to have a bad habit at the time. Kids don't smoke. And he comes out and he's like, "You want to take a drive on my motorbike?" And I'm like, I wish he never said that, but yeah, kind of. So I go to his place, and then he's like, we're making out. It's hot and heavy. And he goes, "I want you to take my big D." Okay. So here are some things you should know. First of all, I am not, listen, I believe that look, I'm not trying, I am, first of all, not a person that judges first. But if you're advertising something and like I immediately purchase the product and it does not deliver what has been advertised, I mean,
what? I mean, was it like this big?
No. I'm talking like half a Tootsie Roll.
Oh boy.
And I couldn't do it. What could I do?
I mean, were you like,
no, what can you do with it?
Yeah.
Like, swat at it? Like I felt like I was a little cat.
Oh my gosh. That's a good one.
We'll keep it in. Embarrassing.
For sure.
I was just like, oh, I'm so drunk. I'm gonna sleep. And I slept on his couch. I didn't even sleep in his bed. You
sound like Luann, who really did everything she could. She said she had the guy that ticked all the boxes. They went on 10 dates. She was like describing her dream that she had about him. And then she like was touching him and she went to his region and she was like nothing. And so there was
I haven't related to anything more than that story that Ramona said.
Well, Ramona,
I mean, not Ramona.
Opened up in many ways. So then the women, you know, Ramona all of a sudden pulls her shirt up, Miss Prude, who doesn't talk about sex, and exposes her breasts and shows that she has rhinestone pasties on. And then all the women follow. They have a pasty dance party. I mean, they were all getting along. I couldn't even believe I saw every one of their breasts. We saw them all.
Beautiful.
In their fine glory.
I would love a pair of boobs like that.
I'm going to be honest with you. Besides the boobs are a lot of work. I feel like boobs are hard. I'm going to be honest. Like I've got them. And I don't just have, I've got the boobs.
You got boobs.
And they're a lot of work, you know?
I've got memories.
I've got memory. I breastfed, and let me tell you, it's not all, I mean, it's hard. Boobs are a lot of work. So to see them, you know, out and about, covered in rhinestones, it was great. It was
great. We gotta free the titty.
I have to tell you though, it looked like such a fun weekend. When I was watching it, I was like, I want to have this weekend. I want to be on this weekend with these ladies. Like, this is the best weekend. They had everything they did was fun. Yeah. So they did that. They stayed up late, drank too much, partied, except for Leah and Luann. Everybody else did. They woke up hungover. They were tired, but they all had a really good time. Next day, they go to a restaurant, Kalisa, I believe, and they like have this beautiful Mediterranean dinner or lunch that looks delicious. And they finish. Well, there was a moment there where they decide that they're going to talk about Valentine's Day. And Leah gets choked up. So they all go around and talk about their best Valentine's Day. Leah says that she doesn't have she's never had a great memory of a Valentine's Day. And everybody else goes around. And Ramona mentions that Mario always gave the best Valentine's Day cards, which I thought was sweet. I mean, they have a good relationship despite their past. Yeah. And Leah gets choked up and she's like, yeah, her ex Rob also used to give really good cards and sent her a whatchamacallit. Why is it?
A telegraph.
A telegram.
That's romantic.
Yes, very romantic.
That would have
and she gets choked up. Will you send me a telegram?
Beep beep. October 22nd. How I've been on the sea for quite some time. I miss the smell of your hair and the way you beat me.
Have you been watching The Crown?
I do love The Crown.
Me too. But so she gets choked up because she misses their relationship. She feels like Rob disappointed her, but she loves him and she hasn't really had a serious relationship since because she loves the relationship that she has with their daughter and with Rob. So I don't know. I kind of hope that it seems like she still has feelings there for Rob.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard because her daughter she's raising her kid with him.
Right.
So it's not like Avery, I think, Avery's old enough that, and Mario, and I think Mario and Ramona have enough distance. And right. Ramona is just really, really interested in jumping on the next.
Exactly. Exactly. She's like, give it to me, Harry Dubin, give it to me, man over there at the bar, whoever.
Stranger in the alley.
Everyone. She is Donald Trump. Will you take it? I don't know. Yeah. So then they have a plate breaking moment where the women are ridding themselves of bad energy.
Opa!
It's so great. They're all saying very positive things. I mean, it was a good moment. You're watching this episode and you're like, everything's good. And then they come back for a dinner. Bershan arrives.
And I did not mind Bershan either. What?
Me either. She was great. She came with positive energy. All these women are getting ready to dress as each other because they've decided that they're going to roast each other.
And I was worried. I was like,
it's going to blow up. No, these women roasted each other in a positive way. Even if their costumes were hilarious, and they all were. I'm sorry, Leah as Ramona with like Pinot Plasma, that was amazing. And, I mean, all of them, they looked great. Ebony looked so good and did so well as Luann, but it was all very positive, right? It was their best qualities that they highlighted. And so I don't know. I mean, it was a very fluffy episode. It was a very happy episode.
I have this feeling though, like maybe they wanted it to end like this
because it's such a disaster.
They're ready to go.
Right.
So executives are like, okay, we want to make this a happy ending, and then they're gone.
Maybe. I mean, something, you know what I mean? Something.
The Matrix.
But they end really happy. That's basically how it ends. They all love each other. We see that Luann is developing a non-alcoholic rosé, and she's getting back to cabaret. We see that Ebony has met her half siblings, but not her father yet, and she has a matchmaker setting her up. We see that Sonia finally rented her townhouse for 2 years, and she's doing a cabaret-esque show. Good for her. I love it. And Ramona is now a real estate agent living her best life. She bought a house in Palm Beach.
These all sound like endings to an actual show.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
Leah is almost finished converting to Judaism, and her daughter is going to a top all-girls school, which was a topic in one episode. And that's it. And now we're going to get a very special episode in the next week. And I guess we'll see a reunion at some point. It's COVID. They can do these things, but also we know there's drama.
Also done it from home too.
We know there's drama. We know.
There's drama. So, well, which leads to some real drama.
This is where the good stuff is.
To the hills of Beverly. The Real Housewives edition. We start out the episode with Dorit's ugly wedding dresses. Like, she had to ruin a Buca de Beppo. Now she's ruining marriages across the nation and maybe across the world if she's lucky.
And then the names that her and PK come up with, like they're groundbreaking.
You know, there's pearls on that dress. Let's call it the pearl. Like, she's like, PK! Oh, from Nevada. I was over it when it started.
Me too.
And then we move over to Sutton's home, and the only thing I have to wonder is when is this gonna be done?
I mean, my God, beautiful $5 million house, beautiful.
But Kyle's happy because she's like, cha-ching, 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 cha-ching.
Never gonna be done.
yeah. So Crystal throws a pretty amazing, pretty delicious duck, which is yum yum. I love duck, especially Chinese prepared duck. And I would love to be at that party eating that food.
She's a good cook. I mean, I told you I made one of her recipes. Like she's I want to go to her house.
Oh, totally. One thing I would say is I didn't quite like how the ladies were piling on Sutton, and Crystal was piling on Sutton, and then it just got really kind of juvenile. The whole, I've never heard of her.
It was like Crystal used that moment to bash, and that was like, oh, Crystal. Oh.
I get that she's trying to find her footing, but like I've never heard her name before. Crystal, no one would know who you were if you weren't married to a super famous director. And Garcelle, who people actually do know throughout the world, made a statement about that in her confessional. Like, nobody would know who you were.
Garcelle was the only grounded one at the dinner.
I don't want to be mean, but like, what did Crystal Minkoff ever do?
She makes
really good food.
Dumplings. She did dumplings.
But did she even start a restaurant? No. Does she have a catering company? No. Is she adorable in the face? Very much so.
Yes.
But I just thought for her to just talk smack when Garcelle was very obviously, when they know that Garcelle's dear friends, like friends with her, and they've gotten to get closer together. So I thought that was kind of trifling.
She wasn't in it to support Erika. She was in it to bash Sutton because she's still mad about the beef they
And I
have.
thought that the whole thing was over. I thought it was
I did too. It was weird that it came back.
yeah, I thought that was weird and out of pocket. Then next up we have Mauricio and Kyle's 25th anniversary, and I was like, okay, filler, but super cute. And by the way, all those flashbacks, and oh my God, Mauricio Umansky is so hot.
I don't think so.
No, but you know what?
But I liked what he did for the anniversary and the food.
I would love
Bread.
just be Kyle for like an evening.
An evening in particular. Maybe 25th anniversary evening.
The number 25 keeps coming up. We've got $25,000 sunglasses, 25th anniversary, and $25 million, which might have been put into EJ Global, which we'll talk about a little later. Then, well, later's coming up now, actually. We get to Kathy Hilton. Now, let's talk about the bomb ass queen that Kathy Hilton is.
My God.
I mean, first of all, that house is like
It's a Barbie house. It's a Barbie house.
And I would live there in a hot, I do not, everything, see, even if I thought there was something tacky that Kathy did, which I can't because I love her so much, she does nothing wrong.
No, because she's so wonderful. I mean, at least what I see on the Real Housewives so far, I think she's great and she can have whatever she wants. I mean, literally everything is just done. Like she can be like, I want that. I want that. I want that. I want that.
I want to be friends with Kathy. And I know that Kathy's a nice person because, as I said, when I was kicked out of when I tried to sneak into that after party years ago, I said, I love you, Kathy. And she goes, I love you. I was like, while I was being taken out by security. So that was fun. Her staff is fabulous. Like her head butler.
My favorite is when she was like, my pet peeve is when people arrive early. And then there's Lisa Rinna, clod hopping in early.
She's like, well, I'll just, I mean, Lisa Rinna got there early and started the party early and a little drunk,
Yes, she did. She caused a little trouble.
Alcoholic. So they end up sitting at dinner together, and Dorit kind of stepped. Oh,
I have to say before we start the dinner, the baccarat. It was everywhere.
Oh my gosh!
It was everywhere. There was baccarat everywhere.
How much do you think your collection of baccarat costs alone?
No idea, but I was like, those little glass. I looked them up. They're like $950. The little glass the little glass candelabras that she had. Those little butterflies are like $150 a pop that she was giving to everyone. Like,
those are the kind of friends we need to have.
Would you throw a party like that for me?
I would throw that kind of party.
I hope Sunday on your birthday. It's like that. I'm expecting baccarat.
When I turn 23?
When you turn 23 for your 23rd birthday.
25,000, 25,000. I'm
25, 23, 25, 23. One day, 25.
Okay, so now dinner. Dorit. So as they're sitting down, Sutton like turns to Erika and she's like, tries to engage with her, and Erika just shuts her down. Shuts her. So as it progresses, Dorit actually says something. Dorit's like, hey, it makes sense. And Garcelle's like, we're not trying, everybody's here for you. We're not, but we have questions, understandably. And Erika's like, you don't have to touch me. One thing I will say is when Sutton was like, she kind of backtracked on how she felt.
I felt like she was trying to soften the blow, but she was put on the spot.
Yeah, and she was put on the spot by a drunk Lisa Rinna, who is such a shit starter. She did this to Denise Richards. Lisa Rinna is a gaslighter. She's
a troublemaker.
Yeah, and I'm kind of like, she doesn't know how much of a hypocrite she is for hiding Erika's secrets, but there might be a reason why, and then throwing Denise Richards under the bus, you know? And I think Denise Richards was just terrible casting. I love Denise Richards, loved her in Wild Things, loved her. I love her filmography. I don't think she was a good fit to be on. Her reality was already playing out with Charlie Sheen, probably not good for television.
And there were other things she really just didn't want out there. I think she wasn't prepared for what would happen.
Yeah, and I completely understand why everything that Erika says, like her shirt, has too many holes in it. Like,
well, I mean, even so when she said like, your opinion doesn't matter. I don't want to talk to you, Sutton. And I don't know why you're so concerned about my legal woes. They don't affect you. Dorit's like, I'm sorry. That's not a fact. And Garcelle's like, also, why can't we be curious? Like, we are curious that we know you and this is happening and we are associated with you and we are in the press. And she is just like, don't you see my face? Don't you see my face? And it's just like, yeah, did you see the face of all those people the faces of all those people that you took money from? I don't feel sad for you. I feel like, I'm so sorry your clothing that you're wearing is from the poor victims that deserve the money. Glad you're enjoying your expensive gear,
So that brings me to this, what I got from the news just today in the last couple of days. So EJ Global, that's her Erika Jayne Global, had an investment of 25 million maybe. And every year it continued to take a loss. I think on the sixth year or whatever, on some year, it was like a loss of 3.6 million or things, big numbers of loss. And that could be considered like it wouldn't be just fraud, but it could be more like it could be criminal. So, which I didn't know. I don't know the difference between. I thought it was
legal advice from our legal expert.
We should talk to maybe I would like maybe talk to Janine Zelda-Wendo, our legal expert. Talk to her, ask her what the difference is between. I think she did spell it out to us, but if we could have some clarity for our next show, because I still don't quite understand. Yeah, I'm talking about Lisa Rinna. She may have had some financial ties to Tom and Erika, and that's why she's not talking. And the interesting thing is, my cousin called me and said, here's this article from Radar Online that she had read that had said all this information about Erika, Tom, and Lisa Rinna. And as soon as I opened it and as soon as I sent it to you, Radar Online had taken it down.
Right. There are older articles saying that Lisa would be indicted or subpoenaed, right?
Yeah, subpoenaed.
Yeah, subpoenaed. But the new article is now taken down. From August 23rd, there were articles basically rumoring that this was about to happen.
So I think I covered everything. Erika.
There was one moment.
Yeah, please.
Kyle turns on Sutton and is basically like, Kyle, who also is navigating Erika's issues and not sure how she feels, right? She's trying to be the friend. We talked about this. But Kyle turns on Sutton and is like, that's not what you said. You're being two-faced. You're not being honest. And I felt like that was really shitty.
But this is kind of how I've been feeling about Kyle. Like, I've been feeling like there's something about her that I used to look at Kyle as this like really sweet and happy, You know, Lisa Vanderpump turned into Lisa Vanderpump. Maybe Lisa Vanderpump was always Lisa Vanderpump.
Right.
Calculating to stay on the show, planting, having Brandy do things. I think I don't like. I there's part of me that feels that Kyle is playing the game that her, arch nemesis / twinsy, Lisa Vanderpump, was playing near the end. Stay relevant.
Right.
Play people like pawns.
I just don't think Kyle has that in her, but she is trying to be like, she like prides herself on being honest, and that comes at the detriment of friends sometimes when things are not necessarily meant to be repeated, but she's doing it because she's like, well, I'm trying to show that I'm supportive to Erika right now. So you've got to take the hit in the fact that like, you're not fully being open about how you feel. But I got why Sutton wasn't fully revealing herself and all of her cards. She was in a moment where everybody was kind of putting it on her, and Erika was attacking. She was so venomous. I mean, it was awful.
If you ever have a doubt in your mind that this is a innocent woman, like poor Erika, there's nothing weak about this calculating demon lady. And I cannot believe I used to like adore her.
I know, me too.
For her. Then you look and you're like, well, wait, how did this? I mean, I know we all know lawyers can be wealthy, but that's a level of like, that's Wall Street money. And I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there are some lawyers.
They do. But like what he was doing was outrageous.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it looks like Bravo's decided to show the actual SHIT show that Beverly Hills is, instead of hiding what a SHIT show New York is.
Right.
But either way, I think huge cast shakeups on both those fronts.
Agreed.
And I think that's the end of it. We don't have taglines.
No taglines.
We don't have a tagline. And the only way we can get taglines is if you provide it to us at Reality Hate F. You can put it on our Instagram at Reality Hate F. You can put it underneath one of our pictures. You can you can slide into our DMs. You can put it on our feed on our TikTok at Reality Hate F, or you can email us at realityhatef@gmail.com. That's REALITYHATEF@gmail.com. In other more important news, Jaya and myself are hosting a radio show on Ruckus Avenue Radio.
We are.
Titled, what's the title?
It's called Sorry, Not Sorry.
Get it? Sorry.
SARI, not sorry.
And we're going to be spreading our wings a little bit and talking about pop culture. And it's gonna be wicked fun, and we're gonna be like cool radio DJs.
Yeah, so we hope you'll join us.
Join us on Ruckus Avenue Radio with your host. I'm Venk.
And I'm Jaya.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Thank you.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Okay, start.
Blackwater. We like it.
So good.
Quenches that thirst.
So good.